Not all games require hours of tutorials or crazy reflexes. Some games you can pick up and play in seconds, no experience required. But what's great about these games is that while they're easy to pick up, they still have enough depth to keep you coming back for more. Whether you're a hardcore gamer or someone who thinks that every console is called a Nintendo, these games were made for everyone. Let's explore why. What makes a game pick up and play? It's got to be simple, fun, and instantly engaging. The kind of game even your grandma or your buddy who doesn't even play games can jump into and have a blast. But let's not forget, the best pick up and play games also have enough depth that even experienced gamers find themselves coming back for more, mastering new techniques or challenging themselves to beat the high score. Today we're counting down the best pick up and play games of all time. These are the retro classics you can break out when you're trying to get the non-gamers in your life to finally pick up a controller. They're easy to jump into, but still fun enough to keep everyone engaged, whether they've been gaming for years or have never pressed start before. Now, of course, this list is just a reflection of my personal opinion and gaming experience, so if you think my taste is bad, just remember there are some people out there who think that pineapple on pizza is a good idea.
Mamma mia!
On to the list. In our number 10 game, you roll stuff. That's it. And yet, it's one of the most oddly satisfying games ever. In Katamari Damacy, you start small, rolling up paper clips, erasers. Then suddenly you're absorbing entire cities. It's simple, hilarious, and honestly, the perfect game to get a non-gamer hooked. What makes it even more fascinating is that Katamari Damacy was designed with accessibility in mind. 2 analog sticks control everything, making it intuitive even for people who've never held a controller before. Yet, despite its simplicity, mastering the perfect roll and optimizing movement takes real skill, giving even experienced players a reason to keep coming back. Plus, let's not forget that quirky soundtrack. Really, you haven't lived until you've rolled up an entire amusement park to some funky jazz. At number 9, we have Street Fighter II. Now, okay, fighting games usually have a huge skill gap, but Street Fighter II is so iconic that even button mashers can have fun. In fact, when the game first hit arcades, we were all button mashers and still love this game. Just pick a character, slam those buttons, and hope for the best. And if you somehow landed a Hadouken, bonus, you're officially a pro. What makes Street Fighter II such a great pick up and play game is its simple but deep mechanics. At first glance, it's just 2 fighters duking it out, but underneath that, there's a perfectly balanced combat system that rewards both casual fans and high-level strategy. Plus, nothing humbles a skilled player more than losing to a dedicated button masher. Props to my wife for keeping me humble. In our number 8 game, you control a monkey in a ball. No complicated controls, no confusing mechanics, just tilt, roll, and try not to fall off. What makes Super Monkey Ball such a great pick-up and play game is its incredibly simple but addictively fun concept. The game's precise physics and level designs add depth for experienced players looking for a real challenge. Yet despite its simplicity, speedrunners have turned it into an art form, mastering insane tricks and shortcuts that make it feel like a totally different game at higher levels. This is one of those games where the more ridiculous the fail, the harder you laugh, making it a great game to play with friends. Because when you think of realistic physics, who doesn't think of a monkey rolling around in a ball? At number 7, we have Brain Age for the Nintendo DS. So who knew a game about math problems and memory exercises could be this fun? Brain Age was inspired by the work of Dr. Ryuta Kawashima, a Japanese neuroscientist. Its intuitive touchscreen mechanics and daily challenge structure made it an instant hit, especially among adults and older players who typically wouldn't even pick up a gaming console. You didn't need fast reflexes or years of gaming experience, just a willingness to challenge yourself and maybe, just maybe, improve your mental agility. It became one of the best-selling Nintendo DS games of all time, proving that a game didn't need flashy graphics or intense action to be engaging. Many seasoned gamers and new players alike found themselves addicted to beating their previous Brain Age score, making it both a casual game and an endlessly replayable challenge. It's also the kind of game that made you realize that you never thought you'd have to fight your parents for DS screen time. But here we are. At number 6, we have Sonic the Hedgehog for the Sega Genesis. Sonic is simple. Hold right, go fast. That's it. No complex mechanics, just speed, loops, and some of the best music in gaming history. Even non-gamers love the rush of zipping through levels at lightning speed. And let's be honest, every first-time Sonic player spends at least 5 minutes just running back and forth because it feels that good. The level design encourages momentum, meaning even new players can enjoy the thrill of speed without being forced to stop and figure things out. Yet, beneath its simplicity, the game offers hidden depth for more seasoned players, with multiple pathways, speedrun strategies, and precise platforming challenges. The difficulty slowly ramps up as the game progresses, ensuring that while anyone can play Sonic, mastering it does take skill. At number 5, we have Mario Kart Wii. Now, if you've never played Mario Kart, well, do you even have friends? Actually, you probably did until you played this game together. It literally levels the playing field. One moment you're in first place, the next a blue shell is ruining your relationship. What makes Mario Kart Wii stand out from the rest of the series is its motion control appeal, which made the game instantly approachable to newcomers, non-gamers, and families who loved its intuitive turn-the-wheel feel. And let's not forget the multiplayer factor. This was the first Mario Kart on a home console to feature substantial online play. At the same time, its local multiplayer with up to 4 players made it a go-to for couch co-op. Whether you are playing online or with family, its accessibility and pick-up-and-play mechanics have earned it a spot on this list. At number 4, we have the game that likely single-handedly got your grandparents into gaming. Wii Sports is the ultimate anyone-can-play game. And the best part? Just swing your arms and hope for the best. What made Wii Sports a standout was its motion-controlled simplicity. Instead of pressing buttons, you simply mimicked real-world actions. This intuitive approach made it the gateway game for people who had never picked up a controller before, instantly breaking down the barriers that usually come with video games. Wii Sports became a social phenomenon, bringing families together and even making its way into retirement homes as a form of light exercise. Wii bowling nights became an actual thing, and suddenly, Grandma had a higher score than you. At number 3 is Super Mario Bros. For the original NES. Super Mario Bros. Defined platforming games and remains one of the most recognizable titles in history. You run, you jump, you save the princess. It's simple, timeless, and still a fun formula decades later. What makes this such a perfect pick-up-and-play game is its amazing level design. The first level, World 1-1, is often praised as one of the best tutorials in gaming history. Without saying a word, it teaches players how to run, jump, and interact with enemies just by playing. I still have fond memories of my non-gamer dad playing this game off and on for years until he finally conquered World 1. It was a genuinely proud moment for him, and for me too. Now, of course, when I casually mentioned that there was 7 more worlds to go, he promptly retired from ever playing the game again. But hey, credit where it's due. He stuck with it much longer than I ever expected. At number 2, we have a game with 4 ghosts, 1 hungry little yellow dude, and what more do you need? Pac-Man is gaming in its purest form. No buttons to memorize, no convoluted mechanics, just pure instinct and reaction. You see the maze, you see the dots, and you know exactly what to do. Yet it kept players coming back because mastering it was a whole different story. When Pac-Man first hit arcades in 1980, it became an instant sensation, attracting both seasoned gamers and complete newcomers. It was one of the first games to attract a substantial female audience, proving that video games weren't just a niche hobby. Pac-Man fever was also real. Arcades saw huge lines, and the game spawned a massive wave of Pac-Man merchandise. It's like Pac-Man was the original influencer. He had a hit song, a cartoon, and more merch than a YouTuber who just discovered dropshipping. And the number 1 game on our list is Tetris. Tetris is the ultimate pick-up-and-play game. No tutorials, no complicated mechanics, just pure puzzle-solving satisfaction. Yet, despite its simplicity, it remains one of the most addictive and competitive games ever created. The game's universal appeal comes from its timeless design, easy to understand, yet endlessly challenging. It's been played on everything from arcade machines to calculators, and it's the rare game that both casual players and hardcore gamers love equally. When Tetris was launched on the Game Boy in 1989, it became one of the best-selling games of all time, helping to define handheld gaming even among those that were not traditionally gamers. Tetris fever did not stop there. It's been ported to over 65 different platforms, setting a world record as the most ported video game in history. It still amazes me how many people I remember growing up who refused to play any other game, but would play Tetris for hours. It's the only game I can think of that has made generations of people from all walks of life irrationally panic as they await the arrival of a single long block. Tetris is a game that nearly everyone, everywhere, has played at least once, and will likely play again. It is absolutely true that you don't need to be a gamer to enjoy video games. Whether you're playing with family, friends, or just looking for something fun and easy, these games prove that everyone can have a great time. So next time someone tells you, "I don't play video games," see if playing one of these games doesn't get them hooked. But what do you think? What do you feel is the greatest pick up and play video game of all time? What games did we miss on our list? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this content, you know what to do. Thanks for watching, and happy gaming, my friends.